there are things in life that combine together that make gold. Prime example, cookies, ice cream. You put them together, gold. It's amazing. Then you got Robert De Niro, mob movie. Put it together, should be amazing. The Alto Knights stars Robert De Niro and is about two of New York's most notorious organized crime bosses are for control of the city's streets. From director Barry Levinson, the man that brought you Rain Man and many, many movies, we're talking his brand new film, The Alto Knights. Alright, so this movie's definitely going under the radar right now because no one's even heard of it, but my dad saw a TV spot for this movie and was like, yep, I want to see that because Robert De Niro, mob movie. Like I said, it should work. And so as I walked into my theater, it was completely full of people wanting to go see Snow White and their kids. Me and about 5 other 70-year-olds went and watched Alto Knights together. And man, wow, there's a reason why this has a low rating. This is a bad movie. Just clear and simple. Plain and simple. This is a bad movie. But, of course, beginning with the positives, Robert De Niro, there's a reason why he's regarded as one of, if not the best actor to ever work in the film industry. I mean, he is just a fantastic actor, and you get 2 roles for him in this movie, as he plays 2 different brothers that are basically very different in the looks, but you can tell by voice work it is Robert De Niro. And I have to say, man, I mean, I think he's like 80-something, and he's one of the best. And I mean, even in this movie, which I don't think is good, in a mob movie element, he just works. And I will say, besides the makeup, the 2 different characters he's playing, he did a good job being separate people, honestly. Yes, I have a lot more issues in this movie, but, like, he truly is a standout, but it's Robert De Niro, you should expect that. There's also a few cool moments. There's a few cool, like, gangster kills that you see in the trailer, because that's the best parts of the movie. Everything else is a lot of talking and a lot of just dialogue, which I have no problem with. I really, really don't. But, besides all those positives, everything else with this movie just fell apart, honestly. I mean, there is a laundry list, but let's begin with my big negative, and that is just the editing. The editing in this movie involves Robert De Niro's character, the main brother you meet in this movie. He basically, not even kidding you, is looking into the camera and telling the story and narrating the entire movie. Now, there's nothing wrong with narrations, but this movie doesn't let the audience just learn information. It doesn't let you express what's going on through dialogue, through character emotion. No. He is literally looking into the camera, doing a little slideshow, sitting in a park, looking directly at the camera and saying, like, we did some bad shit, whatever, and drugs going across, that was a really bad thing. I went to court on my own because I needed to. I pleaded the 5th. I should have done it. Like, it's just like, please just, there is perfect times of narration. Best example, Goodfellas. Great example of narration being used. But this movie, the editing and the narration style did not work. It felt like I was watching a documentary filmed to be a movie. Like one of those like old History Channel things that was like, it was narrated but acted out. But the thing is, it's a History Channel movie. It's supposed to be lesson learned. This is a movie with actors and story and everything. It felt like I was watching like an hour, 2-hour special of a History Channel moment. But again, I like mob movies. There's one scene in this movie, a court scene. It is the best scene in the movie because there's no narration. It is just dialogue between characters, and it's Robert De Niro being an amazing actor. It's the best scene in the whole movie, to my opinion. But the movie then, for like, I think I count like 4 or 5 times, there's a lot of fade outs because the movie just doesn't know how to transition into scenes. And when we go into the other brother, the brother who's wearing all this makeup, there is one shot. I'm like, oh God. And they left it in. There's a shot. It's like early on in the movie. It's like when he first sees his wife. If you see the movie, it's that scene. He's like laying there and he leans up. I'm like, I can see the makeup like fold. Like that's not normal. It's really bad stuff. And then the green screen, when they are together, they usually sit on different parts of the table and it's not that bad. But there's a scene where they get in a car and they roll up to this like flower shop and they walk in. First off, the background, completely green screen. It looks awful. Then they're walking in front and behind each other. It looks so bad. I mean, and there's tons of just scenes like that. And the green screen, like I said, you would have like your main set, then you'd have like a car, an actual car drive up, but behind them is a green screen. There's a part where there's a street and he walks across the street and like the background is green screen. It is so bad. It is so poorly done and poorly edited. That's what I was saying. The big thing of this movie, the editing just sucks. You never let this movie breathe, and the narration doesn't help. And then finally, it was just boring. The movie has a good opening scene. I'm like, all right, okay, this is interesting. But the movie sets you in 1957. Something happens in the opening 2 minutes of this movie. It never tells you. It never transitions well enough to where you go back in time and for the next hour of the movie, you're sitting there wondering, are we after this scene, the gunshot scene, or is this before? And then at one point, it's like, all right, now it's 1957. It's like, oh, so this whole time has been before? And yes, you're like, well, Jacob, if you just listen to the dialogue, you would understand, like, yeah, they're talking about stuff before this incident. I don't know what they are. There are so many times they say characters' names and places, whatever, and drugs and cartel and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, who? What? Where? Oh, Robert De Niro, he's doing a good job, though. Like, that's it. That's all I can say. Like, I was just bored in this movie. I was bored. I was completely bored. I wanted to get up and leave. And it's like, again, it was really poorly edited, really poorly directed. It had no cohesive storytelling that made me intrigue, and the actual story itself just felt like a History Channel like episode that I'd rather watch because I feel like I would know going in, hey, I'm not watching a movie, I'm watching a History Lesson Channel movie. Whatever, this is a movie I think my dad's definitely going to watch when it comes out in 10 days on streaming because we all know it is. And I would like to see his opinion. I like to see other people's opinion, but in my opinion, this is a bad movie. I'm going to give the Alto Knights a D+. Also, yes, is it Alto? I don't know, because it was all mobster stuff. We in New York and with the Alto Knights, whatever, it's like the place they own, and that's like the name of the place, and they're brothers, and they grew up together. By the way, we never get a good relationship between either one of them. Like, they're always bickering each other, and then obviously stuff happens later on in the movie, but like, they like flashback these old pictures, whatever, of them growing up together. I'm like, we could have spent maybe 20 minutes this movie setting up this relationship, showing that they love each other at some point, so later on in the movie, we actually cared. Yeah, just skip this one. Trust me on this one. But you never know. Some people might like the story. Some people might know the story and want to see it with Robert De Niro telling it. That's what this is. And you guys enjoy this movie review. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.